welcome back. We're here in Orlando with Gerry Crawford. He's Director of Retail Operations for ARI. Welcome, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to sit with us today.
Thank you.
I want to start off by asking you about the Joy of Giving campaign. I know that it's been really successful for you guys, and now you've introduced it to your stores. It's in now Montreal, Halifax, Ottawa, Winnipeg airports. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, well, it's a Christmas campaign. It's a fully integrated campaign that we developed originally in Ireland, in Dublin and Cork airports. We found through our research in many different markets, to do a lot of insights work in terms of understanding our customer and what motivates them, dominant buyer behaviour. We found that across a number of markets, one of the key motivations for buying is gifting. In fact, it's the largest motivation we found across many of our airports. So this campaign was devised to, I suppose, maximise that inherent Christmas gifting period. You know, how can we kind of really reach out to customers and touch them?
Tapping into the guilt.
Yeah, the guilt, but I suppose at that time of year, you know, it is a dominant kind of motivation, and but also to do something that was, I suppose, that suits the image of our stores now, and it's a very luxurious feel to the campaign, if that makes sense, and it's kind of a soft sell too as well. It's the joy of giving, so it's kind of it's subtle and nicely done. And what we put it into Ireland first. It was incredibly successful. And then following on from that, we put it into some other markets as well, where we found as well that gifting was very high as motivation. So we put it into the 4 Canadian airports and modified it as well in Montreal, because obviously French is the dominant language, and we did it Joy d'Offrir, if that's the right way of pronouncing it.
Sounded good to me.
And it was incredibly successful. We also put it into Cyprus as well, Larnaca and Paphos airports. So there are 3 very, very different airports, 3 different countries, a number of different languages, and it suits all of them.
Sure.
So all the way from point of sale, it can bring people into the store, kind of also it's also about emphasis on value and ease of shopping. So in some markets as well, where we have facilities like Shop and Collect as well, we'll be using that as, again, like you're getting great value at the airport. It's an obvious time for buying gifts. Get them at the airport, great products at great prices, and also the convenience and ease of shopping.
Would you agree that probably the biggest project was the refurbishment of the Montreal walk-through store in 2013?
Yeah, undoubtedly. It was a very big project and a multi-million project, and we literally started from scratch. So completely rebuilt the stores. We developed our main duty-free, which is say our core categories: perfumes, cosmetics, liquor, tobacco, food, confectionery, souvenirs, to one big store, about 1,500 square meters. And we also built 2 specialist, I suppose, more kind of luxury stores. One accommodating, one which is Oakley, so it's all kinds of Oakley, not just the eyewear, but all the apparel and luggage and travel goods as well. That just opened last week. And another store there which covers watches, jewellery, sunglasses, and fashion as well. So they both opened last week, and really good reaction from the customers so far, so we're very hopeful for it.
How would you describe the sort of trading atmosphere in North America overall, you know, as a market, as opposed to just your business?
Well, I think it's mixed in different parts of the country, and just from talking to people here around the show as well. I mean, there's very different things happening in different parts of the country. Certainly with us, I think we will be outpacing, say, the local market, local economy, which is what we aim to do. We want to increase passenger level spend wherever we can, and it's important to beat the trend, I suppose. But overall, I mean, from talking to people here, from a duty-free or airport perspective, it seems very positive.
That's good. Good to hear. And that stretches in obviously Canada and obviously the US as well. you're referring to?
Yeah.
And traffic in Canada, let's talk about Canada. You know, the passenger figures, they continue to grow in those airports too?
Yeah, they continue to grow. I mean, it's low single-digit numbers. It's, I suppose, a more natural growth rate. So obviously we have to be, from a retailing perspective, we have to be, I suppose, a lot more aggressive in terms of kind of beating those numbers for both ourselves and our partners, the airports.
In terms of categories, are there any sort of standout categories that have shown particularly, good growth that you can talk about?
Well, as I say, the luxury outlet's only opened this week, and we expect to see really significant growth there in those categories. All of those categories have very ambitious and aggressive targets set for them. In our main core categories, I think perfumes and cosmetics has been the standout performer. We've had great cooperation from the brands. We're also looking at how we could do it an awful lot better. Mentioned briefly earlier, we have a program called the ARI Way, which I'm responsible for, and it's about driving consistency and innovation across our business. Our mission now as a retailer is to create outstanding shopping experiences every time for our customers. So it's a small sentence, but it's an incredible amount of detail behind to do that. So it's all focused on the customer. That is our business. That's what our business is about. And we've got some really interesting, innovative opportunities coming up now. We're going to be trialling in various locations, some which we've tried already, which we'll be implementing across a number of locations. We had a great show this week. Some really positive discussions with a lot of our key suppliers. Big brands are very much behind us on it. So we should have some very interesting stories coming out quite soon.
What are the 3 things that you'd like to see happen to ARI North America in 2014? What are your ambitions?
Well, 2014, I think obviously the priorities in terms of sales revenue, building sales revenue, beating passenger trends, and implementing quite a few innovative new concepts that we've got on the go at the moment that we want to implement, and making a success, I suppose, out of that. Cumulatively, again, bringing all these elements together here in Canada and our operations in Barbados as well, to bring that level of consistency, to make sure that we are creating an outstanding shopping experience for our customers every time. We've a lot of plans in train at the moment for development, and even down to our employees, and how we train our staff, how we equip our staff to be great sellers, so we can offer a great experience all the time. That is a real priority, and that in itself, I think, will bring a lot of the financial gains as well by doing that so much better.
Okay. And will ARI entertain the expansion of its business into South America?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's any secret that strategically, we have concentrated a lot on the Middle East and Asia. It is a very important area of the world for us. But equally, we have kind of 5 operations out here in the Americas. And I suppose depending on kind of what contracts come up, we would certainly be looking out for contracts. I would hope that we'd be interested in some of them. And we would like to expand as to whether it's South America or North America. I think it's down to each contract, see which is a strategic fit for our business and also the airport. So, I think we're very interested looking at any proposals.
Of course, it's obviously very, very competitive, so it's not a decision to be taken lightly to move into those sort of markets. So.
Oh, very much so, and a very competitive number of the competitors at the end of the day are global, very much global at this stage. So, and obviously we have to see project by project, which is the best fit for both sides.
In terms of average spend per passenger, who's got the spending power in North America? What nationality?
Well, we see it depends at the time of year as well. So I mean, during the winter time, we get an awful lot of Canadian charter passengers, which are called the snowbirds, so they're leaving the cold temperatures of Canada to fly down to the Caribbean for a week or two. It's a slightly different kind of market, but they're very strong, certainly in our core categories. On a normal year, kind of apart from that, I mean, London, Paris is actually a very strong location. So there's a lot of tourist traffic between both countries, and also London is very significant as well.
And how optimistic are you that 2014 will be a good year for the business?
We're very optimistic, especially in the Americas. We've got a brand new store in Montreal. We've got some great concepts coming across our business. So a lot of work. We're very optimistic that it's going to be a really good year.
Great. Well, thank you for your time. And I know you've got a very busy schedule, so we really appreciate it.
You're
So
welcome.
thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.